Assalamu alaikum, family. Hope y'all have a blessed and wonderful day. Hope you're doing well. Hope that you had a blessed and wonderful week. Also, today is Thursday. This is the day that Allah has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. We toward the end of the week. I know many of you are glad of that, and that's good. But we thank Allah for every day because every day is a that He allows us to see is a chance for us to do better than we did the day before. So even on Mondays and Tuesdays, yes, those two dreaded days, we thank Allah for those too, because those again are days that He has given us to do things better than what we did the previous day. So all days are good days. And the likelihood that you're having one of those days, because we all know that in this life little rain must fall, always remember this. Tough times don't last, tough people do. Keep your hope, trust, and faith in Allah God, and He will see you through. I could definitely bear witness to that. So on last weekend, they had the No Kings protest um, around every major city across the country. This is the second time this year that that's happened. I believe they had one in the spring and they had one just this past weekend. And again, what was the purpose of it? What was the point? What do they plan on accomplishing? You could protest all you want. I mean, I guess it's one of those feel good moments that I went out there and I challenged the Trump administration. No kings. But this man is still sending federal troops to cities. Y'all not gonna stop Trump. Trump is gonna do what Trump is gonna do. Trump is a nigger. That's right, you heard me. Trump is gonna be a nigger. He gonna do what he gonna do. Nigga gonna do it, nigga stuff. Salute, brother. Thank you, Iron Will. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you, brother. But Trump is gonna do what he do. A nigga gonna do what a nigga gonna do. So y'all not gonna stop it. You could protest and hold your signs up, and I saw some signs with um the Transformer logo. When I say Transformer, I mean the LGBTQ rainbow. They done distorted the rainbow with the meaning of it because we know the rainbow means was Allah's promise not to destroy the earth with water ever again. But they done turned the rainbow into a symbol of their flag. So I saw a lot of um, uh, the billboards or whatever that they were holding up, the protest signs, excuse me, the protest signs they were holding up with the rainbow flag. I'm like, really, really, what do y'all plan on doing? Are y'all gonna stop Trump from sending the National Guard to these cities? Are y'all gonna stop? What are y'all gonna do? Are y'all gonna go to war with the National Guard? Good luck with that. Let me know how that works out for you. I'm not saying that I agree with what Trump was doing. I disagree with it wholeheartedly. But what is your plan of attack? I may not have agreed with the civil rights movement, a lot of it, with them marching and trying to integrate. But one thing I can say about the late great John Lewis, Dr. King, the late great, Dr. King, who was a true revolutionary. One thing I could say about them, they did get laws changed. They made a difference. They weren't just out there just doing it for the hell of it. They were making a difference. Do I agree with their approach? Yes, I do. Well, am I for integration? No, I'm not. But I have to respect what the end result was because they got laws changed in this country. You have the Voting Rights Act, the Civil Rights Act, the Fair Housing Act. We know that we didn't benefit from none of these acts, but that's a different story for a different day. But they did get laws changed. So these No Kings protests, what laws are y'all trying to get changed? What are y'all trying? What is your end result? What are y'all trying to do? I mean, it's cute. Y'all out here, you know, tying up traffic in every major city from LA to Boston to Miami. I mean, that's good and all, but what is the end result? What is the end result? Because you're not gonna get any laws changed. So, as far as I was concerned, it was a waste of time. And I noticed that black people, for the most part, we sat this one out, and I'm glad of that. I'm so glad that we sat this one out because these are white people's problems. These are not our problems. We play so many away games until it's a crying shame. So I'm glad that we sat this one out. Before I go any further, hit that thumbs up button, smash that thumbs up button on, hit the subscribe button so you get notifications on whenever I do videos on here. So I was glad to see that. So these No Kings protests was a waste of time. Um, it didn't do anything. It's not going to do anything. It's just people going out on a Saturday. No kings, no kings. It's like, okay. And then they post it all on social media. Everything is for clickbait now. So it's like, what again, what was the point? What was the purpose of it? It's a fucking waste of time. Excuse me for saying that. It's a waste of damn time. So, you know, exactly. It accomplished nothing. It was a huge nothing burger. Exactly. It accomplished nothing. So moving along off of that waste of time protest, I saw that Trump is backing off sending the National Guard to San Francisco. Um, for now. For now. Yeah. So this is from ABC 7 News out here in the Bay Area. So Trump is I just saw it. Okay, there we are. Trump backs off from sending National Guard to San Francisco as anti-immigration protests begin. After mulling the decision to mobilize the National Guard to San Francisco and receiving calls from local tech industry leaders, President Donald Trump on Thursday announced he is backing off from sending the troops. So it was called from local tech industry leaders because it was going to hurt their bottom line. It was none of these protests. It was tech industry leaders urging him not to send the National Guard to San Francisco. So Silicon Valley asked Trump or urged him, don't send the National Guard out here. Wasn't the protest, it was Silicon Valley. Keep that in mind. I didn't know that. The president, in his Truth Social post, said he spoke with friends of his on Wednesday evening. Trump said they asked him not to move forward with his deployment. Trump also said his friends told him that San Francisco Mayor Daniel Lurie was making substantial progress. Both Lurie and the city's attorney have publicly insisted that they do not require federal assistance and that they will sue if soldiers were sent to San Francisco. I spoke to Mayor Lurie last night, and he asked very nicely that I give him a chance to see if he could turn it around, Trump said in a social media post. I told him I think he is making a mistake because we can do it much faster and remove the criminals that the law does not permit him to remove. Interesting. But here's the thing. Oh, thank you for tuning in, God. Good to salute to you. Thank you for tuning in, soldier. My man King Lee, Iron Will, two real ones. Um, so it pretty much was the tech industry, and I want to school y'all on something. So the mayor of San Francisco, Daniel Lurie, is a multi-billionaire. I don't think he's accepting a salary for being mayor of San Francisco because he doesn't need the money. The man is heir apparent to damn Levi Strauss, Levi Jeans. He's part of that in that heir. He's heir to that throne, to the Levi Strauss throne. Levi Strauss, we know, makes jeans. Levi Jeans. Daniel Lurie is part of that. The man's a billionaire, multi-billionaire. He doesn't need to. I don't think he's getting paid to be mayor of San Francisco. If I'm not correct, I think that's right. I don't. I think he said he wasn't going to accept a salary for being mayor of San Francisco, which he can afford to do because the man is a multi-billionaire. So the reason why I say all this is because the local tech industry, Silicon Valley, and the mayor of San Francisco, a billionaires got together and Trump capitulated. He said, "Okay, I'm gonna back off for now." So I'm going back to this No Kings protest, the waste on time protest. That didn't do a goddamn thing. Money talked, and Trump backed off. Billionaires talked, and Trump backed off. Because one thing about Trump, Trump respects people with money. He's a billionaire. So billionaires respect each other. Don't matter what side of the aisle they fall on politically, a billionaire is going to respect another billionaire. Am I right or am I absolutely right? So Daniel Lurie is a Democrat. A lot of these tech industry folks, they kind of lean on the left, a lot of them. And we know Trump is, far right wing. We know that. But at the end of the day, it's money. Money talks, bullshit walks. And this is a perfect example of it. Money talked and bullshit was walking this weekend at the No Kings March protest. I mean, y'all get what I'm saying? That was bullshit that was walking on Saturday. That was bullshit. This is money talking. So money told Trump, back off. And Trump, I'm going to back off for now. I'm going to back off. San Francisco, it's a good city. I love San Francisco. Love it. I'm going to back off. Huge, huge. It's going to be huge. I'm going to back off. But my deployment of the National Guard is going to be huge. Not huge, but huge. Yuge. Huge. It's going to be huge. Going to back off. That's my Trump impression. I know it needs work, but I'm not as good as Godfrey. Godfrey got it down packed, man. Did y'all ever seen Godfrey's Trump impression? Oh my God, it is hilarious. But I mean, come on, let's keep it. Let's keep it 1,000. But at the mosque last night, I saw California Highway Patrol. I just posted with with Dr. Dre. That was some funny stuff right there. Dr. Dre was cracking up. That was funny. He's not a real doctor. I wanted it. He go to a hospital, get a medical degree. That was so funny. Oh my God, that was funny. Um, but yeah, so when I was at the mosque last night, um, I noticed a lot of law enforcement uh roaming around the area. I saw a California Highway Patrol, the Chips, and the squad car, and they were three deep in the squad car. CHP. Saw Oakland PD. Saw Oakland PD again. Saw CHP again. Her helicopters earlier today. The Ghetto Birds. Something's going on. And it was told to us that the Border Patrol has already, not the National Guard, the Border Patrol, they're already here in Oakland, well, Alameda, which those of y'all who've been into the Bay Area, you have Oakland, and there's a across the tunnel, a bridge is Alameda. Alameda is a town that's in Alameda County. It's across from Oakland. They're in Alameda. Why do I mention Alameda? Because years ago, well, decades ago, there was a Navy base and at Alameda back during World War II. San Francisco was very pivotal um, um, in World War II. This area is San Francisco, Richmond, Oakland, Alameda. It was very pivotal with helping America win the war against the Japanese during World War II because there was a naval base at Alameda. It's closed now. Been closed for I think 30 years or so now, or 30 plus years. But the Border Patrol, they're training there. And Border Patrol is worse than the National Guard. So, and you may ask, well, why is Border Patrol in the San Francisco Bay Area when we're in Northern California? We're not San Diego. We're not, on a Canadian border. But let's just say this is the Mexican border. We're not San Diego. We're not Southern Arizona or even like Southern Texas, the southern part of Texas. No, we're in Northern California. Well, that's because Border Patrol, the federal government, they have carte blanche over any area that they want to take over, and they're here in Alameda. I was told that last night. So, and this is not being they mentioned that on the news out here last night. I don't know if y'all knew about it, but he may not have sent the National Guard, but he sent Border Patrol, and they're worse than the National Guard because, and they're being assisted by the cops. I've been hearing sirens like crazy where I'm at in Virginia Beach. Exactly. See, Virginia Beach. Virginia Beach is near a naval base. If I'm not mistaken, Norfolk, um, the Hampton Roads area. That's all military, particularly Navy. The Wayans brothers were trying to buy that base and make it a studio a few years back. I remember hearing about that. I do remember hearing about that. But the federal government wasn't gonna let that happen. They we don't want these niggers buying this. No, 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 no. We have plans for this. But good try though. But so that's what's going down. Meanwhile, speaking of the federal government, the government shutdown. We have a shore base in Virginia Beach, two Navy bases in Norfolk, Naval Shipyard, and yeah, exactly. Yup. I had a cousin. I think he's retired Navy. He was at Norfolk. So yeah, it's a lot of Virginia more than probably Texas and maybe Florida, particularly Texas. Texas, Virginia, and Florida are heavily populated by the military. We know the Navy. Virginia has the Air Force base there at Langley, and then you have the Marine Corps, Quantico, and the Army. You have what's the Army base in Virginia? I can't think of it. But Virginia is heavily military populated. Of course it is because you're on the coast, you're close to the nation's capital, you got Maryland, so makes perfectly good sense. And you're right off the ocean. So makes perfectly good sense. And MacDill and Tampa. Yup. Know about that base a lot because I used to live in Tampa and I used to go to MacDill quite a bit when I first moved to Tampa. Fort Eustis and Newport News. Yup, exactly. In Tampa. I know about MacDill. I'm very familiar with MacDill. But what was I saying? Oh, so the government shutdown. It's in day 23. This is the second longest shutdown in U.S. history, and it looked like it's going to be the longest because from what I'm seeing, there's no end in sight. And this is a goddamn shame because you have multimillionaires and billionaires arguing over what? Over spending. Meanwhile, you have millions of people being affected. Millions of people depend on SNAP. They depend on Medicare, Medicaid. They depend on Social Security. They depend on um, the TSA agents, air traffic controllers, people. A lot of the federal employees, I know Trump furloughed them 2 weeks back, fired them. Some are working. People at the VA hospital, the VA hospitals, the government buildings, the national museums, national parks. All these people are being affected. They're not receiving a paycheck, but yet and still, you have multimillionaires and billionaires receiving their paychecks. And it's even affecting people in the military. That's right. Our men and women in the armed forces are not getting paid. I can relate. I could bear witness to that because during the government shutdown in '95, the pissing match between Newt Gingrich, who was Speaker of the House then, and President Bill Clinton, or Phil Clinton, Phil FEEL, Phil Clinton, what affected me. I think that shutdown lasted, I want to say maybe 2 weeks. I don't think it was 3 weeks. I think it lasted maybe 2 weeks. I got to look that up. But it was the government shutdown in '95, November of '95. Because I remember I was in North Dakota at my first duty station and finance had closed down. And they told us there's a big sign on the door. You will not be receiving paychecks until further notice. So I had to borrow money from my parents. A lot of us did. We were living in the barracks, so we got by. But still, it was still. I remember that government shutdown in '95 between Newt Gingrich and Clinton. But that ended. That didn't last 3 weeks. That ended um, because they came to some type of agreement. But this here is ridiculous. It was right, my brother. It was right after the Million Man March. It was a month. Matter of fact, I want to say it was 3 weeks after Million Man March because I remember that government shutdown was right before Thanksgiving. So it probably was early November '95. Early, probably like the first or second week of November 1995. It was about 3 weeks or a month after the Million Man March. Perfect timing, right? Oh, speaking of Million Man March, just a little footnote here. Did y'all know that Bill Clinton got the hell out of Dodge when 2 million black men converged on the mall in Washington? He tucked tail and ran. He sure did. 2 million black men showed up on the mall, on the National Mall in Washington, D.C., and the president of the United States at that time, Bill Clinton, who many Negroes call the first black president, tucked tail and got out of town. I think the members of Congress did too. Just want to put that out there. But yeah, yup. So it was right after Million Man March, and a lot of brothers were eating ramen. Brothers I was in the military with, I never ate that shit. It was just too. I was eating. I didn't know better at the time. I was 19 years old, so bear with me. I was eating ham and cheese sandwiches, turkey sandwiches, anything Lunchables, peanut butter and jelly. A lot of sandwiches. A lot of sandwiches. It was quite an interesting time. But again, that did not last that long. No, it lasted long enough. But this is like, and this is affecting now. CalFresh is what they have out here. CalFresh is California's. It's like Snap. They're going to run out of money. Snap is going to run out of money as of next week. So, and then now mind you, you got Thanksgiving coming up in a month. Thanksgiving's coming up in a month. People want to buy their turkey, their ham, their dressing, their sweet potato pies, their cakes, their this, their that. Right a month before a national holiday of people feasting and getting fat. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad said, he told us decades ago, do for self or suffer the consequences. Well, a lot of people are suffering the consequences. This is an example of it. Um, a lot of people are panicking. I'm not panicking. I'm not dumb. I'm not making light of what's going on, but the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, as well as his student, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, has been preparing us for this for decades. A lot of y'all Negroes did not pay attention. Y'all made fun of us. You bow tie wearing niggas, it's hot out here. How come y'all don't have a short set? Y'all don't eat no pork. Y'all don't do this. Y'all don't drink. Y'all born. Y'all a cult. Y'all this. Y'all that. Y'all hate the Jews. Y'all black supremacists. These are from some black people. From some black people who said this. Y'all mocked us. Called the minister a conspiracy theorist. Said we're a cult. Now look at what's going on. Are you paying attention now? I hope y'all have woke up and smelled the pork chops because now look at what's going on. Suffer the do for self or suffer the consequences. I heard somebody. I saw a post yesterday where people were somebody was warning people be careful about going to the grocery store because they're gonna jack people for groceries. I don't get the hate the NRI gets. If you ask me, brothers and sisters in NY practice the Muslim religion in its purest form. We do, brother, we do. We're not perfect, but the teachings that we practice are perfect. So, white supremacy is a hell of a drug. It's a hell of a drug. If you could lie to the people, just tell all kind of lies, unfounded lies, and dress it up and doctor it up and make it pretty, people will fall for it. But if you tell the ugly, naked, ugly ass truth, people will ignore it every time. So black people threw the Bible at me on the corner. I remember you telling me that. That's funny. Wow. Wow. But they see that's the crazy thing. They threw the Bible at you, but in the Bible, it talks about the last days. And this, we're living in the last days. So you should have threw the Bible back at them. It's like you throwing your Bible at me. Are you reading your Bible? It speaks about what we're going through right now. And if they weren't so ignorant, they would know that we follow the Bible too. We follow the Quran, but we follow the Bible too. And the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, as well as his student, his national representative, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, they both teach from the Bible, as well as the Holy Quran. So ignorance is bliss, but I digress. But this government shutdown is continuing, and it's just a shame, man, because millions of people are being affected. I feel bad for them. I think my brother said something about black women going off about not receiving their food stamps. It's like wow. It's like now is the time to turn to God. Grow your food. Now is the time to seek God. You should seek Him at any time, but now is the time because you're gonna need the help of God. Start depending on this government because, as you can see, they don't give a goddamn about you. Let me turn this light on real fast. Okay, maybe that's a little better. They don't give a goddamn about you. They don't. 90s Minister Farrell, he did. In the 90s, the minister mentioned federal troops coming to major cities. I believe it was 1989 and 1990. The minister mentioned federal troops coming into American cities 35 or 36 years ago. Now look at what's going on. So, like I was saying, this government don't give a goddamn about you. You got multi-millionaires and billionaires can't they blaming each other for spending. And I read somewhere that the Republicans wanted to pay federal employees their wages through the shutdown, and the Democrats turned it down. I saw this on a forgot I kind of saw a little glimpse of it, but the Republicans wanted to pay federal employees, all federal employees, through this shutdown, give them retro pay and pay them while they're not receiving a paycheck, and the Democrats turned it down. So you Negroes that think the Democrats love you, stop living that dream. That is a crazy dream. That is a lie. They don't give a goddamn about you, just like the Republicans don't. So some of this is the Republicans' fault. Some of this is the Democrats' fault. It's both their fault. Both of these parties are wicked and evil, and they don't care about the American people. Republican or Democrat, it does not matter. I don't care what CNN has told you. I don't give a goddamn what MSNBC has told you. I don't give a goddamn what Fox News has told you. Neither party cares about the American people. They do not. They do not. I don't care whether it's the left or the right. They don't care about you. They're showing it now. They're getting their paychecks. They're taking care of their families. They're going to have a nice Thanksgiving. Meanwhile, you're not. If there ever was a time to storm the Capitol, now would be the time to do it. I mean, think about it. You're losing your benefits. You're going to work and not getting paid. Air traffic controllers, TSA agents. I mean, y'all stormed the Capitol over a dumbass election. Why wouldn't y'all raise hell about this? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But what do I know? But do for self or suffer the consequences. And many people are suffering the consequences. And my thoughts are my I feel so bad for people who are just want to feed their families, going to work, not being able in times as rough as it is, food is going up, everything is going up, but your salaries, that's remaining stagnant. People working two or three jobs and still not being able to put food on the table. My heart goes out to them. It really does. It really does. And I pray every day that this will end. I pray for those who are suffering. I really do because that could be me. That could be you. So let's keep in mind, don't don't laugh. Don't laugh at those who are suffering. Have empathy for them and learn. Learn, have empathy and learn. And just thank Allah that you are blessed to put food on your table. You're blessed to receive a paycheck. Even though these jobs are get on our damn nerves, and I know it, but yet and still, you're blessed to receive a paycheck. and do for your family until you could do better, until you can start your own business, and then you can provide even more for your family. So count your blessings is what I'm trying to say. Count your blessings. Don't take anything for granted. On that note, I'm gonna hop off of here. I hope I was able to get my point across in this video on this topic. If so, drop your comments below. Let me know what you think. Share this video. Let's have the conversation. Let's flood the algorithm with it. So and hit that thumbs up button. Hit that thumbs up button. Smash that thumbs up button down, and hit that subscribe button so you get notifications or whenever I do videos on here. I know there are going to be people who disagree with me on some of the things I said in this video, and that's cool. I'm fine with that. However, let's agree to disagree without being disagreeable. And in our disagreements, let's use logic, common sense, facts, and respect, not emotion and disrespect. That'll get you nowhere. Support my YouTube channel here, my future projects that's coming down the pipeline here soon. It'd be greatly appreciated. Thank y'all for rocking with me. I love y'all, and I don't take y'all support for granted. So please, please, please continue to show your brother love and support. Brothers as well as sisters, y'all be safe out here. Please be safe out here. Beware and be aware. Satan comes to kill, steal, and destroy now more than ever before. So whether you're going to work, coming home from work, dropping your children off at school, picking them up, running errands, especially running errands, um, on vacation or just at the house doing nothing, still beware and be aware. Like I mentioned not long ago, that somebody said, be careful about going to the grocery store because they're jacking people for their groceries. We're living in the Hunger Games. Y'all remember that movie, The Hunger Games? That's what we're living in now. It's to the point where people have resorted to almost like animal like behavior. It's like a dog eat dog world out here now, where people are fighting for food. The Hunger Games. That's what we living in. The real life Hunger Games. So y'all be safe out here. Man, y'all just be safe. Be safe. I love y'all. I will talk to y'all soon, inshallah. And I'm out. All right, take care. Assalamu alaikum.